thank you. It is such an honor to speak to you at the there are a lot of lights here, at the 25th Annual Health Action Conference. First of all, congratulations on 25 years of advocacy. That's amazing. That's really phenomenal. Phenomenal. I've only been doing it for 2.5 years. I'd like to share my personal story of my journey from a patient to a patient advocate. In 2007, I was permanently disabled from an accident. I was spared the costly medical bills of 4 spinal surgeries because I had continuous coverage. In 2011, I survived kidney cancer and fought my way into remission after losing part of my right kidney. In 2013, I was diagnosed with lupus, which causes me severe fatigue, and most days it's a struggle to get out of bed. I manage over 10 pre-existing conditions, take 38 medications, and receive 12 biologic infusions to slow the progression of my disease. Most people like me with chronic diseases can live happy and productive lives, but only if we are provided access to health insurance that can't be taken away because an insurance company decides it's in their best interest not to cover something, or if Congress decides to repeal our insurance, or if the Trump administration sabotages and refuses to defend the Affordable Care Act. As someone who spends the majority of my waking hours in doctors' offices, I need to focus on healing, not bankruptcy. I used to be very private about my health, but once President Trump was elected and set to repeal the ACA, I could no longer be silent. In December 2016, I decided to advocate for healthcare on Twitter. My Congresswoman, Carolyn Maloney, has taken up my cause and those of people like me. In the last 2.5 years, as you've heard, I've traveled to DC. This is my 30th trip. I have collected the healthcare stories of thousands of people who share their personal stories and concerns with me. I have held over 400 advocacy meetings with Democratic and Republican members of Congress alike. I also have had the honor to testify in Congress before 3 separate House committees. My message to Congress has been this: if you think pre-existing conditions are not important, remember someone you love could have an accident, be diagnosed with cancer or lupus at any time, and that will change how you think about this. I know firsthand your healthcare can change in an instant. I put my health at great risk to travel to Congress and share these stories. I never know if this will be the last time I'm healthy enough to travel to DC. People have told me, because of all these healthcare repeal and sabotage efforts by, Congress and the administration, that they feel alone, scared, and afraid when they should be focusing their energy on their own well-being. We all know someone who has been affected by a chronic condition. No one should ever have to worry about their health care being taken away from them simply because they became ill. Thank you. That's why I keep coming back, by the way. I would be remiss if I did not mention our wonderful caregivers who are my heroes, who have been our voices, right? People like my friend and advocate of medically fragile children, Natalie Weaver, whose own daughter, Sophia, passed away last May. Sophia suffered from Rett syndrome and many other pre-existing conditions and endured 30 surgeries in her 10 years of life. Natalie spent precious time away from her daughter for the betterment of health care access for all children. She will never get that time back with Sophia. These are the sacrifices that we make as advocates. I encourage you, as I do my followers on Twitter, to call your state and federal policymakers and share your personal healthcare journeys, because being proactive is empowering. I know it's not easy. I stand here in front of you all today sharing the personal, devastating details of my own life. But by sharing your journeys, you are putting a human face to what would otherwise be considered data, statistics. We're not statistics. We're not numbers, right? We're not. So therefore, it is my pleasure to introduce the following video in which Families USA spoke with a multitude of healthcare consumers across the country about their top healthcare concerns. These are their stories. Thank you for listening, and please, I'm speaking to all of you now, never give up hope, and I never will either. Thank you.